Agenda item number 4 is to approve the October 1st, 2025 committee meeting minutes. Because we don't have a quorum, we can table that for the next month meeting. Item number 5 then is the information and discussion items. So we have 2 presentations for you today. The first is item 5.1, provide information, advice, and recommendations regarding bus stop update. I'll turn it over to Sai. Hey, Sai, I think you might be muted, or maybe that's my side.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, goodbye. Hello, everyone. My name is Sai-san, Transit Planner with RTC. I'm gonna give a quick update about bus stop amenities improvement for the past 3 months. And first, we installed a bench near Truckee River Trail on West 4th Street, Route 11, and the photo on the left shows what it looks like. It's on the existing bus stop pad. And we also installed a bench at Rock and Greg on Route 54. This is on the existing sidewalk. And these 2 are both based on public request. We evaluate the space, ridership, obtain permit from the city, and then get the benches installed. Next page. Okay. And next, here are improvements as part of RTC or non-RTC projects. And first, we added a bench at Sutro before McCarran on Route 15. And the construction is done, and the developer built a small pad for us to put a bench there. And then West 7th and McCarran on Route 4. This is an RTC project. We construct a bus pull-out lane and a large concrete pad and a safety rails. So at this place, we reinstalled a shelter after the construction. And lastly, RTC Mill Street capacity and safety project is almost done. And so the bus stop on Mill Street between Yori and Terminal has been improved with larger and safer places for passengers to wait for buses. And for future improvement, we talked about the bus stop improvement project at the last meeting. Here is the project timeline. In November, preliminary design, January 2026, intermediate design, in April 2026, final design, May 2026, invitation to bid, and in the summer of 2026, we expect construction. All right, this is what I got for today. Thank you.
Thanks, Sai. Any questions from the committee?
Kelly, over here for the record. I don't have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
This is Sue. I have a general bus stop question, especially as we head into winter when there's weather and snow sometimes. I am wondering just like what the general policy or idea is with snow on the side and bike lanes and bus stops and access to all of those things.
We expect to clean snow and trash to keep our bus stop clean on pad. And for the sidewalk and bike lane, that's supposed to be City of Reno or Sparks duties.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, we can move on to item 5.2, which is provide information, advice, and recommendations regarding an RTIP amendment, amendment number 1. So that'll be Graham.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Graham Dollarhide, transportation planner here for the record. So has everybody seen my screen okay?
It's the not presented version, but yes, now it is.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. So again, everybody, I'm here to present to you the proposed amendment number 1 to the federal fiscal year 2025 to 2029 Regional Transportation Improvement Program, or RTIP. So just a quick background refresher on what is included in the RTIP process and what the purpose of the document is. So it is a federally required document. It represents a prioritized program of scheduled and fiscally constrained transportation improvement projects that are designed to achieve the area's goals and objectives that are established in the long-range plan, the Regional Transportation Plan, or RTP. And the RTIP includes all federally funded or regionally significant transportation projects, regardless of funding source, and carried out by any agency within the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, boundary. So that's why oftentimes you will see projects in these amendments or these RTIP actions that are led by City of Sparks, City of Reno, or in this case, a lot of them are led by NDOT. So also just a quick refresher on the kind of the life cycle of a project. Projects may be developed in plans or studies or other means, but they don't really become real until they get into that RTP, that long-range planning document, where they are fiscally constrained. They have been formally reviewed and prioritized based on a set of scoring criteria. And so they're not really real. They're more so recommendations in plans or studies until they get into the RTP. And then from the RTP, as I mentioned, you move into that more short-term outlook, which is the RTIP. That's that 5-year outlook. And that's where the money becomes more real. It is still a fiscally constrained document, but there are actual funding sources assigned to these projects. And so again, the projects and the dollars become more real at this stage. And then projects cannot then move forward into the other 2 phases until they are reflected in the RTP and the RTIP. So once they're in the RTIP, then they can move into our agreement phase. Our Street and Highways program, RTC, will enter into agreements with City of Reno, City of Sparks, Washoe County, NDOT, because RTC doesn't actually own roads, but we build projects on them. So we will have agreements with those jurisdictions to complete those projects. And then we move the projects into the annual budgeting, where the money is really real, and then into implementation. So the details specific to this amendment, again, this is the federal fiscal year 2025 to 2029 RTIP. It was adopted this past August. And so this proposed amendment would be the first amendment to that document. And it's necessary in this case to add, remove, and update projects. And in this case, an air quality conformity analysis is not required. And a corresponding amendment to the RTP is not required, despite the addition of a couple of projects, and I'll get into those details a little later. So getting into the details of each of the projects included in this proposed amendment, the State Route 659 North McCarran Boulevard 3R project. This project already exists in the RTIP. It is simply being moved back to a future year by NDOT. This is an NDOT-led project, just simply due to funding constraints. Similarly, with the Reno Towing and Recovery Incentive Program, this project is just being removed entirely due to funding constraints. The I-80 Washoe westbound Patrick Waltham project, this is a new project to the RTIP to add auxiliary lanes to westbound I-80 at the Waltham Way interchange in Patrick, just east of Sparks in the Truckee Canyon. And this is a project new, as I mentioned, to the RTIP. It is not in the RTP, but it is not required to be, according to some criteria that we've established in our public participation plan. It's not, it doesn't require air quality conformity. It is outside of the hydrographic area where air quality conformity is required. It is also not a significant change to the fiscal constraint determination in the RTP, so doesn't need to be in there as well. And similarly, the surface treatments on various bridge decks project, this is also new to the RTIP. It'll look to improve bridges at various locations around Reno. This project is really more programmatic. It's kind of a preservation type project. So again, programmatic projects are kind of just covered under one umbrella in the RTP. So it doesn't need to be called out specifically. So then there's a couple of projects in here that you did not see in the agenda packets. These are a bit of oddball projects here. These are kind of moving targets, and so we've been getting new information on these as recent as this afternoon, in fact. So this Pyramid Way, Sparks Boulevard Interchange and Connector Improvements Construction Project. This project currently exists in the RTIP. We would propose to remove it and essentially recombine it with the Pyramid Phase 5 project that exists in the RTP. This project was part of a larger project in the RTP. There was a separate project in the RTIP for the kind of the feasibility, looking into the feasibility of this piece of that larger project, and so somehow it kind of morphed into this next phase. And so we're just gonna take this phase out, recombine it with the phase 5 as it always was intended to be, and maybe potentially look to re-add it later if needed. And then at that point, we would also probably break it out in the RTP as well. And then the University Area Transportation Project. This one, again, was not in your agenda packets, but this is something that was identified in some discussions with the federal side of things, the FTA, FHWA, and EPA. Essentially, we kind of caught an administrative error in how this project was added to the RTIP during the adoption in August. Essentially, the way that it's broken out in the RTP, it's shown as two separate projects. There's a multimodal project, and then there's a capacity project. And there was some language that was taken from some internal documentation about the project as a whole that was essentially mistakenly folded into the language in the RTIP. So some of those project details just need to be amended or updated to reflect what was actually intended. So we got some direction from the feds actually earlier this afternoon that this project, because due to the nature of the changes, it probably won't actually be included in this proposed amendment. It'll probably be done more at an administrative modification level, which is that much lower insignificant level in terms of, or as far as project changes go. So happy to answer more questions about those, but just trying to give the highlights of those projects. So next steps about this proposed amendment action: it will require RTC board approval as well as state and federal approvals before it comes live and active. There is a public comment period that is open now. It opened on October 30th and runs through November 19th. And that comment period was advertised through various media outlets, including a Spanish language newspaper and the RTC website. We are obviously requesting review by our advisory committees and then subsequently the RTC board. And then the RTC board meeting on November 21st represents an opportunity for a public hearing as well. So with that, I'll take any questions. Thank you.
Any questions for Graham?
Where is that public hearing going to be? Or can you go back one page? Sorry, I'm trying to add it to a calendar.
Sure. Yeah. So November 21st at the standard RTC board meeting. So that'll be at the RTC
I see.
office on Terminal Way, 1105 Terminal Way.
And that's the 9 o'clock meeting?
Correct.
Okay. And then is there a good link that I can include for that public comment?
For the public comment, yeah, so I can send you a link to the full notice that we have posted to the website. But otherwise you can just email comments directly to me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions for Graham? I did see that Ryan joined, so welcome, Ryan.
Sorry, yeah, sorry for being late.
No problem. Okay, seeing no questions, I guess we'll close out item 5 and then move on to item 6. Any staff announcements from folks on the call? Okay, I don't have any for this meeting. So with that, we can move on to final chance for public comment. Item 7, public comment, limited to 3 minutes. Any takers?
This is Sue. Can I make a public comment?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is Sue Chen, member of CMAC. I just wanted to let everybody know Tara Goodard is going to be in town on November 18th. She's doing a thing at the university, but Timba will also be hosting her at Brewers Cabinet for a presentation and discussion. And then I'll put it in the chat. There's a link to a podcast that she did on how cars change us. And so we would love to see anybody and everybody there. Brewers Cabinet on Arlington and not on White Fir.
Great. And yeah, I see you posted that in the chat. Awesome. Thanks for that notice. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, well, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 8, adjournment, and we'll adjourn this short meeting at 5:54. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.